the recent military strikes carried out by the United States and Israel, we were not consulted in advance about these operations.
Members of Parliament debating Canada's stance on the war in Iran. An evening session on the Hill holding a great amount of weight, but the Prime Minister reportedly had to miss out due to a prior commitment. The Conservatives accusing him of flip-flopping on the country's position. Good evening. The consequences of war come with devastating casualties and also a deep cost. Impact is being felt on the global energy market as Canadian politicians discuss what's next and our country's role if this conflict lingers beyond the president's timelines.
Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you talking
but soon.
about days?
I think soon.
Okay, and with respect
Very soon. Look, everything they have is gone, including their leadership.
U.S. President Donald Trump is predicting a swift end to the war in Iran and vows to prevent disruptions to the world's oil supply. However, the high prices seen today has millions in panic mode. Ottawa drivers experiencing sticker shock with every gas station they drive by. CTV's Austin Lee has more.
Frustration from drivers at the pumps.
It's terrible because I think it went up about 20%.
Hits much harder when you make your living on the road. Demolash Sharon has been a cab driver for 35 years. He says he's never seen price swings quite like this.
We are controlled by the city, and we cannot jack up our price. Even if the gas price goes to $2, we still charge the same amount. So this is unbearable.
The average price of gas in Ottawa surging by more than 20 cents a litre in the past week.
We pay more now and make less because of the gas prices. It's impacting us a lot.
Usually, it will take about 14 to 15% of our fare goes to gas prices, you know, in a van like this. But now it goes to 20 to 22, 25% of our income goes directly to gas price.
From the streets to the sky, fuel costs will continue to put pressure on the pocketbooks of many.
People should be wary that if they are planning travel and going for summer trips like that, tickets should be bought now before any price increase takes place.
The cost is one concern, possible cancellations another.
If this were to continue and the cost of fuel goes up and availability of fuel, there's a shortage, that could, in fact, change some airlines' decisions on regular daily flights.
War in the Middle East and tensions around the Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping route for about 1/5 of the world's oil supply, driving the wild price swings. Economists say shoppers can also expect inflation at the grocery store, with transportation costs on the rise. The oil price increase over the last 10 days representing a 1% hike to Canada's headline inflation.
At the end of the day, what you make just goes to gas.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
At the same time, federal politicians are also being tasked with responding to a trade war and the economic fallout. Today, we're learning more of their plans to invest nearly $95 million to gain a better understanding of where workers are needed right across the country. CTV's Josh Morano explains.
At Algonquin College, Chintan Prajapati is learning the skills he hopes will launch a career in plumbing.
This is a skill that is really good for you as long as want to serve the community and also making more money.
But even in industries facing labor shortages, it's not always clear where workers are needed.
There's a lot of opportunities, so it would be very helpful for me if I can find a job.
The federal government announcing it's investing up to $94.5 million over 5 years to help organizations track labor shortages and attract new employees.
In order to fuel economic growth, it's important that we have skilled workers and engaged employers, and that we adopt new and modern technologies across all of these industries.
14 organizations across the country will use the funding to collect and analyze workforce data in key sectors like construction, agriculture, and biotechnology.
We're expecting in the tens of thousands of deficit of workers in biotechnology industry by the year 2029. And this kind of information will allow us to know in which subsectors, which regions, and which specific skills are going to be most keenly in deficit.
In Ottawa, the demand for workers is rising in some sectors, particularly construction, as the government works on building more affordable homes.
We're out of time to build slowly.
Companies like Oakwood's proposed new build housing facility in Eastern Ontario are looking to hire and hoping the funding helps bring new talent into the industry.
We need good workers in our new build super factories to be able to supercharge the home building industry and get these jobs and these modules out to people who need them.
For students like Prajapati, the investment signals a future where skilled trades are not only in demand, but essential.
It's going to be very helpful for me and helpful for this country and the community as well.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
And we have extended coverage of the Canadian and local economies. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The current temperature is 10 degrees, but a special weather statement says the region should watch out for freezing rain this week. Jackie Paris has our first look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, we had some spring-like and double-digit temperatures for today, but that will be the end of it, at least for a little while. We've got some cloudy skies for our Tuesday, and temperatures are going to sit much cooler. It isn't until Wednesday early morning into that overnight that we are likely going to see some freezing rain moving in. It has prompted a special weather statement for here in Ottawa. 10 to 20 millimeters of ice buildup between Tuesday evening into Wednesday evening. So this is really going to be an all-day event. So we are keeping a very close eye on this because it's not just affecting us here in Ottawa, but also parts of northern Quebec, as well as Toronto, the GTA area, and it's going to be moving in well into Thursday morning. We'll get a closer look at this and more, but first, those overnight conditions, 5 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow, the daytime high will only be 6 degrees. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Some Ottawa students had such a worrisome walk to school. They are now being given the option of taking a bus. As CTV's Katie Griffin reports, neighborhood safety concerns becoming the catalyst for change.
Mike Chatham says the daily walk to his son's school near Hintonburg can be unsettling and dangerous.
Rampant drug use everywhere, needles everywhere. We typically do an Earth Day thing where we clean up our block. And sadly, this year, we don't think the kids will be safe doing it because we don't know how many needles, how many pipes, how much drug paraphernalia is hidden underneath the snow and everything.
5-year-old Cooper is one of 60 elementary students now eligible to take a bus after the Ottawa Student Transportation Authority designated the zones around 5 schools as so-called community hazard areas over safety concerns.
Basically telling us formally that our neighborhood is unsafe, that we've been abandoned by local and by provincial government.
I mean, I don't think anyone's thrilled with the labeling of like we live in a danger zone or a hazard zone now, but it's accurate.
OSTA says the move is an evidence-based response to a documented increase in safety concerns from parents, school administrators, and the broader community regarding complex social and environmental conditions along specific walk routes. Councillor Ariel Troster calls it a Band-Aid solution.
People who are experiencing homelessness and mental health and addiction issues, they deserve proper care. They deserve supportive housing. But residents nearby also deserve security and to be able to walk their kids to school.
I'm going to keep walking with my kids and instructing them on sort of what a safer route is, generally by avoiding Somerset. But I definitely agree with the decision to offer the bus service to people.
Chatham, too, will continue the walk to school.
I don't see why next time Premier Ford or his ministers are in the neighborhood, I challenge them, walk the neighborhood. Get Mayor Sutcliffe, walk around, then look at each other and ask yourselves, is this acceptable?
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
As a controversial high-speed rail project gains momentum, the mayors of Kingston and South Frontenac Township are taking issue with the proposed route. Here's CTV's Kimberly Johnson with a breakdown of what they're looking for instead.
Like, it's the feeling of like when someone's sick in your family or something like that. Like it's not a good feeling for sure.
Gord Bolton fears the plan for high-speed rail will ruin his hunting and fishing business in South Frontenac.
It would end my business. It would be done. It would cut my property in half, and then with a train coming by every half hour, people come there to be in Mother Nature. They don't come there to listen to a train.
The mayors of Kingston and South Frontenac are calling for a high-speed rail route along Highway 401 with a stop in Kingston.
What this joint advocacy position will do is it will protect vital rural landscapes. It will align with existing transportation corridors, both for rail and for the 401. And it will also ensure that if high-speed rail is going to run through Eastern Ontario, that it actually serves Eastern Ontario with a stop in Kingston.
The proposed 1,000-kilometre line would run from Toronto to Quebec City, with stops in Ottawa, Laval, Peterborough, Trois-Rivières, and Montreal. Currently, there are 2 possible routes, one of which runs through South Frontenac. There's no station stop in Kingston and runs several kilometres north of the highway.
It makes no logical sense whatsoever. And I've said it before at our own council meeting, it'll be devastation for generations if it goes through South Frontenac.
In a statement to CTV News, Alto says the final alignment, including stations, is subject to the approval of the federal government, but notes it will try to follow existing corridors and that high-speed tracks need to be a straight line. Transport Canada says the public will be consulted before any decisions are made. Rural residents say moving along the 401 would alleviate fears of expropriation.
It's not that we don't understand why the government wants to do this. What we don't understand is why they would do it so callously to us.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News, Kingston.
The connectivity generates economic impact, it generates stimulus, it generates tourism.
Coming up, why the Premier is pushing to expand the Island Airport in Toronto and what it could mean for the future of domestic air travel.
Elias Pettersson takes a run at Pinto. Giroux goes down, makes a play. Zook with a shot off a body. Here's Ridley Gregg. He scores! Ridley Gregg.
The Ottawa Senators are in Vancouver tonight taking on the Canucks. The puck dropped at 9 p.m. our time and just ended about 5 minutes ago. Final score 2-0 for Ottawa and closer to clinching a playoff spot. They're back at home Wednesday taking on Montreal at 7:30 p.m. It's time now for a closer look at the forecast. Here's Jackie.
Well, we're tracking the ice storm that is moving through Tuesday evening into Wednesday. You can see here we're going to likely see more freezing rain, but it could also bring about, depending on how cold we get here in Eastern Ontario, isolated showers and thunderstorms as well. But let's keep a close eye on what we can anticipate for tomorrow. It will be another dry day here in the capital. About cloudy skies for really most of our Tuesday, starting off with those northeasterly winds. It's going to be about 0 to kick things off, getting to a daytime high around noon for 6 degrees. It's going to start to cool off after that for the evening, getting down to about 2 for 6 p.m. And the chance of showers will start to pop up as we make our way closer to the midnight hour for our Tuesday. But tonight's lows here in Eastern Ontario hovering around the freezing mark, mainly clear skies as well, about 3 degrees in Montreal, -1 in Gatineau, 2 degrees in Petawawa. Tomorrow's daytime high, about 2 degrees in Pembroke, 6 in Ottawa, 9 degrees along the Seaway. But again, this is going to cool off by the time we get to Tuesday evening. So this is the rain that is going to start moving through. You're going to start to see that rain moving in around 3 p.m. for Tuesday in the Kingston area. Freezing rain for Wednesday around the midnight hour, and this will steadily continue well from Wednesday morning into Wednesday evening. And again, we are anticipating 10 to 20 millimeters of rain for at least here in Eastern, or in Ottawa, I should say, and that's freezing rain. Parts of Quebec could see 20 to 30 millimeters of rain. And things are going to cool off for Wednesday, 1 degree, the daytime high. Thursday, -1 with a chance of flurries. Friday, we will likely see snow return here to the capital. Stefan.
Thanks, Jackie. The Premier's push to expand the airport that sees planes fly right into downtown Toronto had officials fielding questions today. Billy Bishop was designed with a specific purpose in mind, and Ontarians want to know how different it could look in the future and at whose expense. Here's CTV's Siobhan Morris.
It's been a long time coming at the Island Airport. U.S. pre-clearance, giving travelers headed to the States a chance
to complete customs and immigration processes before departure, making their travel experience faster, more convenient, and more reliable.
There's been a lot of noise lately about another change a little further down the runway.
Those jets are coming in there one way or another.
The Premier inserting the province into the future of Billy Bishop. The airport's governed in a three-way deal between the city, the feds, and Port Authority. That agency is on board with expanding the runway for bigger planes to reach more faraway destinations and to provide a better alternative to Pearson.
The connectivity generates economic impact, it generates stimulus, it generates tourism.
There's no concrete proposal for jets flying in and out of the Island Airport, The mayor's office welcomes the province's input but stresses the need for balance. The transport minister isn't taking a hard stand but points out the structure of this deal goes back to the 80s.
It is only normal that we continue to reflect and look at those arrangements. Technologies advance, safety requirements advance.
The head of the revived No Jets TO group says jets at Billy Bishop make even less sense than a decade ago.
We have the Union Pearson Express that we've spent $500 million on to get people from Union Station to Pearson in 25 minutes, and we've spent billions revitalizing our waterfront.
Doug Ford insists it's what Ontarians want, pointing to polling for his government done late last year, when 2,500 people were asked about a bigger runway to reach places like Vancouver or the Caribbean. 66% said they strongly or somewhat support the idea. 15% somewhat or strongly oppose, while 19% aren't sure.
We aren't going to worry about the 1%ers that affect the 99% of the rest of the population. We're going to move forward with the island airport.
This renewed jet debate is taking off just before the municipal election campaign begins this spring. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
I've admired her since I was really young.
Still to come, Ottawa's speed skating queen slides into familiar territory. More on the inspiring homecoming in just a few minutes. Ottawa's own Ivani Blondin is back home after winning 2 medals at the Winter Olympics. Tonight, Blondin returns to her old rink to meet with the next generation of Ottawa speed skaters. And CTV's Sean Varden was there.
Where do you want me to sign it? Right here?
For Ivani Blondin, being freshly back from winning gold and silver speed skating medals at the Winter Olympics, returning to the Bob McQuarrie Rec Centre, special.
Pretty full circle moment for me. Brings back a lot of memories and a lot of long, hard hours that I had to spend here training, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was hard training sessions, but there's a reason why I'm standing here right now, and it's because of those hard sessions.
That dedication inspiring a new generation.
I've admired her since I was really young.
It's very fun and nice to see where they started and how they've done.
The thrill of going fast, and I really love the long distances.
Dozens patiently waiting for a few minutes with one of the world's best Olympic speed skaters.
It's just really cool to see the end result and having them come back and give back to the sport. And again, just looking at the kids and seeing all the smiles, it really makes a big difference.
I didn't anticipate so many kids, but I was pleasantly surprised. And I actually heard from a lot of them that they started speed skating after watching the Olympics just recently, which is so incredible.
Not just here to sign autographs, Blondin on the ice, offering tips and encouragement with some simple advice to anyone hoping to follow her footsteps to the Olympic podium.
Try to enjoy it as much as possible and not be so hard on yourself. I've always been hard on myself, even from a very young age, and it wasn't until my last Olympics that I figured out that I should maybe have a little bit of fun with it. So
you're having fun now?
I'm having fun now.
Sean Varden, CTV News.
Look at them go. The Carleton Ravens men's basketball team is returning to the capital as champions. They won an incredible record 18th youth sports title yesterday. But as CTV's Dave Charbonneau reports, it's tough to find fanfare on campus.
Won't go, and the dominance continues for the Carleton Ravens.
When the buzzer sounded in Calgary Sunday night, the Carleton Ravens had done it again.
Championship number 18.
Beating the Bishop University Gators 78-75 to claim their 18th national championship. The team now back in Ottawa after the hard-fought victory, with the Ravens overcoming injuries and a back-and-forth final.
I was happy about how we were able to step up on the adversity. Sometimes when you don't have all your guys, you can make an excuse why you're not going to win. But yeah, I thought the guys did a great job, and I'm just proud of their effort yesterday.
And for us to just keep fighting, and to finally come out with the result, just resilient is the word that comes to mind.
But back on campus, some students are still catching up.
Do you know when the national championship game is?
No idea.
Do you know who won the national championship game?
No idea.
Your school won.
Oh my God, no, I didn't know that. I learned that.
Why does nobody know?
I don't know. I've heard nothing about it.
I'm not up to date on a lot of sports anyways.
Most people that I know don't even follow the NBA, don't follow anything like that, right?
Your school won.
Oh, yay!
At a school with a trophy case that's now as full as the Boston Celtics, some students say another title is almost old news.
I don't know if people are getting complacent because we've won 18 times now, so it's just like any other day for some people, but I don't know, it's amazing.
I saw the highlights, saw the Instagram posts, so yeah, it's pretty good, yeah.
For those who cover youth sports, the lack of excitement is no surprise.
It's a little frustrating, it's disappointing. I think, that's the million-dollar question that everyone asks with youth sports is how do they get alumni involved to the same degree that they do at U.S. colleges? How do they get the student body involved to the same degree?
But for some students, there was a perfectly good reason to miss the game.
Can I use school as an excuse?
Still, the team excited about another championship.
To go for the first time and just experience it and then come out with a win, it was amazing. I can't even describe it, honestly.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
The money didn't go where it's supposed to go. That's a lot of money.
Just ahead, the story of a woman whose down payment went missing after working with an unlicensed mortgage broker. An agency which protects consumers in Ontario is warning about companies that are accepting mortgage funds even though they're not licensed to do so. CTV's Pat Foran has more.
You had one job to do that you got paid to do, and you didn't fulfill that.
Randy Solomon of Scarborough says 2 years ago her father was having health issues and she had fallen behind on her mortgage payments. She decided to deposit $85,000 on her mortgage and found someone who said they could complete the transaction.
The money didn't go where it's supposed to go. That's a lot of money.
Solomon says she gave the funds to Diane Van Rossum. She thought Van Rossum was a mortgage broker, but when she contacted the Financial Services Regulatory Authority of Ontario, FSRA, she was told Van Rossum was not licensed. The $85,000 bank draft was cashed, but is now missing.
When I found out it didn't go to the right place, I was angry. I felt betrayed. And I felt like she didn't do the job that she was paid to do.
FSRA just issued a statement warning consumers not to do business with Diane Van Rossum, saying she's not licensed to conduct mortgage brokering in Ontario, and she has accepted funds but didn't deposit them to process a mortgage. FSRA says anyone seeking mortgage advice or services needs to make sure they're dealing with a licensed professional.
I would encourage consumers to ask a lot of questions of the mortgage broker that they're working with. Mortgages are not easy products.
You can also check FSRA's website to make sure a mortgage broker is licensed to operate in the province.
They can do that by putting in their name or their license number or their brokerage name. I would also check our enforcement database to make sure that the brokerage doesn't have any actions recently taken by FSRA against them.
Solomon says the $85,000 was to help her keep her home. Without it, she's worried she could lose it.
The situation is still the same. My home is still up for foreclosure.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
When we return, the Gatineau Hot Air Balloon Festival gets a jump on summertime excitement. More on today's announcement shortly. Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's still 10 degrees out there right now. And now for a final look at the forecast, let's head back over to Jackie.
Well, cloudy skies and say goodbye to those spring-like conditions. We're starting things off at the freezing mark. We're only likely going to see a daytime high of about 6 degrees, and this will be closer to the noon hour. After that, things are going to start to cool off. By the time we get to Wednesday, it's going to be a daytime high about 1 degree, so we'll hover back around the seasonal time for this year is around the freezing mark. But keep in mind, again, Wednesday, a special weather statement is in effect for the region. 10 to 20 millimeters of freezing rain expected.
Thanks, Jackie. Finally for us tonight, the Gatineau Hot Air Balloon Festival has announced an all-star performer.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid.
The California-based rock band Smash Mouth will take the stage at the popular summer festival on September 3rd. The band rose to fame in the 90s with hits like All Star and their remake of I'm a Believer. The festival will announce more of its lineup later this month. Looking forward to that. That is CTV News for this Monday, March 9th. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app, and for news on the go, listen to News Talk Radio 580 CFRA. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night and stay safe.